In this video, we're going to be working on evaluating expressions. So evaluate means find an answer or find the value of the expression when you're given specific values for x and for your variable y. These, of course, could be a and b or y and z or any letters that you have in your expressions. So first, we're going to work on simplifying by collecting like terms. So in part A, I notice there's a 3x and a 2x. Those are like terms. I can add them together to get 5x. And then I can look at the plus 2, which is a constant, and I can take away 1, which gives me plus 1. Now I have an expression that I can evaluate by substituting in a value for x. So where I see the x, I'm going to take out the x and put in its place the 5. Okay, because we want x to equal 5 in this case. Remember, between the 5 and the x, there's a times. So 5 times 5 plus 1. So you'll notice I just took out the times x and replaced it with the times 5, the value that I wanted for x to be. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 1. I multiply first with BEDMAS. And 25 plus 1, when I add as my last step, I get 26. So the value of 5x plus 1 when x equals 5 is 26. In part B, we also have some like terms that we can collect. I'm looking at 2y squared, and I'm adding 1y squared. That gives me a total of 3y squared. And minus x, of course, is not a like term, so I cannot add it on to the 2y squared and the y squared. Remember that whenever you see just a y squared or an x, there is a 1 in front that we just don't normally write. Okay, now I'm ready to do some substitution where x equals 5. So we're going to take out the x and put a 5 in its place. And we have a y equals -1. So we're going to take out y and put in a -1 in its place. So we've got 3 times -1 squared. You'll notice the y went away and I put -1, its value, in its place, minus 1x, or just x. So take away x was 5. Take away 5. So I took out the x and I put 5 in its place. Now I'm ready to follow BEDMAS. With BEDMAS, I always want to do the exponent first. 3 times -1 squared, or -1 times -1, makes +1, because a negative times a negative makes a positive, and 1 times 1 is just 1. So -1 squared is just 1. Now I'm going to do the multiply. 3 times 1 is 3. And finally, I can do 3 minus 5. +3, take away 5, leaves me with -2. So when I evaluate 3y squared minus x for x equals 5 and y equals -1, I get a value of -2.